Our Kwaba SI Ediban Nimdia News, always the best news in town. In same Brunana say Koso Ebio Ewo Ghana Amai Muhammad Catcher say for politics and governance there. Odin News are nowadays asem. We bring you all news and Ebio Sono Yedi AC Amai want also in Ansho Brown and Musa to Miakabi. Yentian Simbia AC ni Humbabi Susua at the bottom and so Ebefa. Ghana had politics is about NPP, NDC, and all other political parties are a trenchia waha. And now what in some say, what now what in some say, now in some be essay. I'm a per se, Yabetie, a 9.4 second comedian who anum. Yabetie in some no about you are near the adventure and so about. Press all the comment. Everybody said a baby to me, Unia King and so dear man before that, no so no subscribe to your channel, no. Name the news, and some all other relevant news for politics from our Ghana. Yentin si mi emergency na first all the adventure and so ebetuja. Yentin mra, yaba de obi ani no masaka.
He may decide not to run. But the people are saying that they prefer him to lead. At the moment, around 30% of the vote. So the fact that they prefer that you contest and lead doesn't mean that you would contest. So these are a list of people we believe are capable of running, contesting in NDC. Some of them, through backdoor channels, we were informed that they have some interest. And some of them, rightly so, they want to see whether it is worth even starting any activity at all. So for some of them, this is very insightful. And that what they may be thinking that they are may not be what is on the ground. So it kind of helps people to make decisions quickly, not to waste their time going around doing anything. So it provides some sanity into your future aspirants that you may have.
I see. But how do these names come up? Is it that you tell them who do you think will win, or you give them names to them?
Who would you prefer, to lead NDC?
And the names come up on their own?
No, we have names that we've given to them. And we also have someone else.
Okay.
If the names that we've given to you, you don't see your choice in it, you say someone else. And someone else, who do you have in mind? Then we have to give a chance to free will, tell us who you want.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, Haruna leads this, but the vice president is not in the list because perhaps her name...
It is our decision. Look, she was in the first survey we did in April. Then after that, she was taken ill. And when she came back, she tried to come back to the government. And as pollsters, sometimes you make some judgment calls. We also looked at how old she would be in 2028 and what the dynamics today are in terms of what we are being told. Remember, 64% of the 78% are saying they want young people. And that tends to skew against that age bracket. So on our own, we felt we should take it out and to see how the race changes with her not being in the race. It is also something that we use as insight to see how her vote dispersed. And then also, look, there are certain names we know will not contest, but they are there for strategic reasons. From certain block, of the voter block, we have a black one there. We have the GAN block, which is the Professor Alabi and Oko van der Poel. And we have the Akan block and Northern block. We want to know the alliances. If this person is not in the race, where does the block move to? For us, it's what makes us clever in projecting who could win in the future. So this data may be seen to be useless, but for us, it's the gold mine.
Haruna Idrisu, was it last week or so, met the vice president met him, and in their conversation, he said he was praying for her or hoping that she would rise to the topmost position as president. Given that he is leading your polls and he is wishing somebody would take up that is interesting, is that not?
Oh yes, it's interesting. Maybe if we introduce the vice president back in, we'll see maybe the race may change. But look, I think this country is looking ahead. Now, if you go into the data about who would you prefer to lead the country, the young or old leaders, the interesting thing is that, look, the demography of the people, let me tell you, among those who said they want young to lead, every demography by age, by popularity, say young people. People between 18 and 24 73% of them want young leaders. 25 to 34, 68% young leaders. 35 to 44, 60% young leaders. 45 to 54, 57% young leaders. 55 to 64, 62% young leaders. Even 65 people want young leaders to lead the country. It's a consensus across every demography of age in this country. They probably have seen what the old people have performed. They want to try their own age mates.
For every carton or bucket of lava.
So we have Atufosin there, we have Julius Debra there, we have Okudjota Blakwa, etc. Do you know whether, of course, Mahama hasn't said he's supporting anybody, he's just focusing on his work for now.
No.
But does it matter who he supports?
Look, it could have consequences, both plus and negatives. And I think we shouldn't think that we can hoodwink any group of people, voters of this country, to go a certain direction.
If he's very popular in the party and he gives indication that this is a person he's comfortable with,
it will have impact. You see, the impact could be negative and positive. There are those who will be happy that he's given an endorsement to somebody. And there are those who feel the party will be torn apart if he does that. Remember in Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta went against Ruto. He went to endorse a candidate. He went, but the party didn't go with him. Let that be a lesson.
I see. Then other names like Oko Vanderpoy, Spielgabra, people think it's a spent force. He's been around for a long time. He's lost the spark, etc. So it's interesting that he finds himself here. Oko Vanderpoy, not much activity around him. Also quite interesting that he finds himself in the numbers, in the names here.
Look, what we intend to do is that going forward, we don't want to have a long list of aspirations or people who, in the end, will not feature. So there will be a rule we will have to apply that if you're not making at least 5% of the national support, you will be among someone else. So that we have a very sensible list. So this list that we have, you can see that the top 5 are Blakwa, Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, Atufosin, Asedin Ketia, and Haruna. This may be the list that we'll finally use in the future, but there will be room for someone else. And if that someone else keep popping up and doing a good number, then we'll add him to the
Let's talk about Asedin Ketia. He's chairman of the party. One of the most popular, if not, apart from the president, the most well-known or popular persons in the NDC. He has power. He wields quite some power. National chairman, been general secretary for many, many years. He's overseeing the election of all these delegates, etc. And he will, as chairman, oversee the election of these delegates, etc. People think he has a stronghold on the delegates, and it's very likely that will go in his favor, or that will be to his advantage.
So far, we haven't seen any polling yet. You see, perception may not be reality. We have not released any public poll on the delegates. So let's wait and see. But I believe that, you see, there's going to be a demographic changes in NDC delegates. At the moment, NDC delegates, they are a lot younger than the MPP delegates. And they will go into election to elect their policy executives. And it's more likely it will get younger because of what we've seen on the ground. Now, if these delegates get younger, it will really make it hard for the older guys. So the demographic changes, there's nothing you can do about it. It will happen, naturally. But when that happens, it's the moment of the time that determines who lead NDC.
Daniel is texting to ask why Gusitano is not featuring in the list.
I don't want to say it, but we had him there and we got him out.
Why did you get him out? 24-hour economy, major plank of the government.
We were contacted.
That you should take him out?
Yes.
Because he's not interested?
Whatever the reason was, we took him out. We gave people a chance to add to the list or take us from the list. And he was taken out.
I see. And the NDC generally appears, as we sit or as we speak, to be quite more popular even in swing regions in the general race. The general party to party, the head-to-head race or polling. What, in your view, accounts for that? Is it because the party is new and the party is still enjoying the goodwill, or what? Look,
MPP is in a very difficult situation right now. And it starts from the party affiliation of people who openly say they are MPP on the street today compared to NDC. Openly on the street today, if you encounter voters, 42% of them will say we belong to NDC. MPP at the moment is 27%. That is 10 points lower than where they have been, where they were in October 2024. So MPP as a brand has been bruised. And that is affecting how their candidates would perform in the future. Now, they have to get their acts together and go up in the numbers in terms of party affiliation. Otherwise, it will be tough for them. And what we have seen in the head-to-head is a reflection of that, and also the perception of performance of the MPP in the last administration. That performance perception will hang on their neck for some time. They have to find a way of jettisoning it.
I see. So in the head-to-head, it does appear that for all the candidates you pitched against the MPP's various candidates, the NDC appears to be doing better. Now, let's look at Haruna again and the JM factor. Haruna is from the northern region. JM is also from the northern bloc. There's the talk on the streets that maybe a lot of Ghanaians will not want people from the same region to lead them twice. Did that find expression in your way?
Look, those may be misconception among voters. If that was really what on people's mind, he wouldn't be leading the pack in terms of what you saw. But again, I can say that if the race consolidates, you can see the accounts coming together and that will give them a bump. But look, we are in the Gen Z era. Gen Zs who are less tribalistic and less religious, even though the sentiment of religion in our politics is mostly among older voters. Now, the problem I can see is that, look, it's typically for NDC. Unlike MPP base is about 65% Akan. So they can choose Akan any day, anytime. There will be no problem. But with the NDC, it's a smaller group of 20% there, 30 here, 19 there. So you need the collection of all the blocks to come together to help you. If you are in that situation, you tend to compromise a lot. And look, we have given you guys a 10. If you are done, the other groups, 3 blocks will say, oh, now it is our 10. So I think for the delegates, it is much more of a delegate issue than a national issue. So the delegates may think that, okay, Northerners have had their 10, let's try other blocks.
I see. This is the big issue on 97.3 City FM. We're also live on channel. You can join us via our WhatsApp lines displayed on the screen and on 0549 986 996 020 444 7033. I'll be happy to share your views with the rest of the world. Musa Dankwah is the executive director at the Global Info Analytics, conducts polls, and he's conducted he's done some work in October, and we are looking at these works. So, I mean, let me speak to Hamza. But before that, Jones Adoboy in La says, good morning, Salam. Musa Dankwah has in recent times won all the credibility when it comes to surveys, but I want to tell him that with NDC, it is too early. He must allow the president to focus. The micro minority calling for some judges' resignation shows that they are not serious as a party. Even if some judge manages to get 0% DSP, what percentage did the MPP manage to get in 8 years? They should give us a break. Well, that's two things put in one. Hamza, I'll come to you. The major concern, which a lot of people have raised really, is that for the NDC, it's too early. Leave the government to focus. And that doing this will be a distraction to governance.
Selo, we are a private, independent company. We do what our clients want. We have done this since 2019. We started the polling after Nanado has won the election. Just about a year after he's won the election, we started it. There are people, in fact, our clients, global clients, who are looking into 2028 and beyond, right? They want to have a feel of what the country is thinking. I don't think any person in government or in NDC should be distracted because of the polls. You have a job to do. Focus on the job. Ghanaians are talking. I'm just telling you what they are saying. It doesn't mean that you leave your job and jump and start campaigning. That's not what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to inform and also help people to make decisions. Look, as we speak to you, we have been approached by some political party investors.
To skew the vote?
No, to see the outlook.
Okay.
As to who they can support in the future. Right? They want to know now. They're not saying it's too early.
Musa, you're making money.
We're not making any money. We're running data. We're running data. People have come to look. There are companies, people like Fetch Solutions, other big research companies. They're not waiting for NDC to say that we are ready. No, they don't wait for NDC.
They want to know what's happening.
They want to know what's happening in the country.
So they can.
NDC can decide to take their eye off the poll. That is fine. They can do that, and they should do that. Look, it is much easier for Mahama to call his people to order than to call me to order, or he doesn't control me. Yeah,
but for example, if you have an Asidun Ketia who we hear will run or may run, doing thank you tour, if there are others in government who also have their eyes on it, they may obviously be distracted because this man is a free man. He's doing his party work and dealing with the people who eventually will vote.
But you see, I think next week we'll put out some data from polls we've done among NDC delegates about what they think about early jostling positions. Did they assess whether what they were doing was winning them vote or costing them vote? You don't join something because you think the person is leading or the person would trouble. You must also be guided by your own data. Some of the things that the early movers were doing were really annoying voters and even delegates. If it's an annoying delegate and annoying voters, it's not going to annoy to your advantage.
I see. This other message, says, I'm, as a proud delegate, I'm not surprised by Musa Dankwah's post showing Dr. Bawumia in the lead. His vision, humility, and proven track record making the clear choice to unite our party and lead Ghana into the brighter future. Dr. Bawumia represents competence, innovation, and hope, and I believe delegates across the country will rally behind him come January 31. He is the people's choice, and together we shall make history. Well, what do you think from your work is going for Bawumia? Of course, his longevity, but what is not going for him? What is going for him in the internal party race?
What's not going for him?
Even in the national
I think the result of the last election. I think the defeat was humbling.
But, at the time Mahama lost in 2016, that was unprecedented, huge margin at the time. Only that this has surpassed it. But at the time, it was a record. But he's come back quite strongly.
I mean, we're yet to see. But for now, he's carrying the baggage of the last election results, the baggage of Nanado's performance. And recently, I mean, the DDEP, people are still scared. So those things are fresh in people's minds.
Yes, but he has said many times with that number that he was not a guy. And these days we hear a few things about his disagreements with some of these policies, but he had to play ball. I mean, he had to support the government.
We saw what William Ruto did in Kenya.
But the Kenyan situation is very different.
I'm just... He disagreed with the boss and openly rebelled against the boss. So the people trusted that he wasn't in keeping quiet.
But the Kenyan system, Nigeria system are quite different from our system.
It's the price he paid for keeping quiet. You can't eat your cake and have it. He paid the price for being quiet.
In the political system, that was loyalty.
If I was him, it doesn't matter. Now he's paying for the price of being too loyal.
So he should have resigned when he didn't support
not resign, but his voice should have been made clear that on these matters, I disagree with my party.
But in fact, we heard him in the e-levy, before the e-levy. He said it was a no-no. Later, it was done. Of course, knowing that he couldn't openly disagree with the party or the government when that decision was made, couldn't we have used his earlier position to indicate where he stood on that?
I remember in the UK, we have people called the spin doctors. They are political strategists who can spin well. If you have a very clever political strategist, he can find a way out for you. In a way, you look or come across as, being dissenting, at the same time part of the team. So there's a balance you need to have. People didn't see that. And it was difficult for him to be trusted that when he said that he wasn't in charge, he was a driver's mate. And that really didn't go down well.
I see. That's Musa Dankwah. But, Musa Dankwah started credibility, but now he appears to be having everybody around the table.